Well, welcome again to Spiritual Soul Center. We're so glad to have you here. And this week I found myself struggling for inspiration. I was flipping through books. I still have to put them all back. Searching Google, trying to find poems, just really anything that would give me a little bit of inspiration, but nothing was resonating with me this week. And it was really strange because so many things happened, both globally and in my own personal life this week, that I'm pretty sure the universe was actually offering me ideas and lessons like canapes on a silver platter. But I was like, that one's got gluten, no, dairy, like, is that a bacon bit? Not having that. So I cheated a little bit this week, and I asked, again, I'm taking you everywhere. I asked someone that I trust and respect what I should talk about this week. And in the course of conversation, I was given 2 words. The first being change, which is really a discussion around impermanence and how even though we're walking the same trail that we've walked 1,000 times, that due to the change of the season and the lushness of the forest, it felt like a completely different experience. And it was a little disorienting, like, are we going the right way or are we not going the right way? Even though we've done it many times before. And the second was faith. And this was a conversation had around actually hammocking, as faith is the carabiner of life. And really, is that faith within a higher power? Is that faith within each other? And really, oneness, we're all the same, so it's really no different. So it's kind of a moot point there. And ruminating on these conversations, I realized that there's an intersection there between change and faith. And that to fully experience life, which is ever changing, and love and live in love with grace, we have to place aside our fear, express our authentic selves, and trust that love, source, God, whatever your name for that being is, knows our hearts and will lift us in all things, in all ways, even if it has to let us drag the ground a bit first. And for me, that expression of self, particularly with words, is where I start to contract. This fear of expressing my own feelings and thoughts because of hurting someone else, because of reactions, because of fear of rejection, because of fear of making things weird, which I seem to do anyway. Fear of not mattering, fear of not being loved. And even developed an entire defense mechanism around this, right? So, oh, Megan, how are you today? Fine. Fine? Fine. How was work? Good. It was good. What's on your mind? Nothing. Which probably means I'm not fine. It was mediocre at best. And unless I'm in a deep meditation, there are always thoughts in my brain. And so for me, this is even brought forth on Healing Night this week, where we pulled these radionics cards, and it was based on an organ system and chakras. And of course, like, I pulled the throat chakra. And so I've done a lot of work in that area and continue to do my work in that area as we practice here at Spiritual Soul Center and elsewhere at home. And then I knew exactly where I needed to go for today's reading, which is my own journal. And it happened to be already bookmarked for me. So here it is. Creating a channel, allowing grace to move through me. It is and will continue to change things. As scary as that premise presents, I nestle into the knowing that I am safe. Even as the judges, jurors, and armies gather, I am safe. In the stillness of your arms, in the calmness of your breath, and the beating of your cosmic heart, with you, through me, all things are possible. A grand healing of hearts and minds. Each day I become more and more lost in the sound of the universal pulse. But I have a sense that I'm not lost at all. I am merely coming home. And we'll take that into a time of prayer. Holy Heart of the universe, may we come into this time and space with an open heart and mind. May the courage within us rise so that we may find our words, thoughts, and deeds in alignment with our true source, holding the highest good, holding love for all living beings. And so it is.
Is JP here? Yeah, come on up. You got your... Hello, JP.
Am I?
It's your quote.
What is my quote?
It's your quote. Is there another JP here?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
The one and only, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You're writing, so our jar cards are about writing down our favorite quote, or a quote that we want to share, remember?
Okay. Yes.
So here it is.
All right.
You got a nice short one, so,
All right.
but it's a good one.
Compassion is the greatest killer of joy.
No, that's not compassion.
I'm on 3 hours of sleep. Okay, I'm sorry. Comparison. Is it comparison? Comparison.
No, you're not having fun.
Okay.
I'll read it for you. Comparison is the greatest killer of joy.
Right, that's what I said.
Y'all try me. You try me. You try me. Comparison. I've given a lesson on this, a message on this before here at Soul Center. Comparison, I didn't use this quote, comparison is the greatest killer of joy. That's a good one to remember. So thank you, JP. Sorry, working on a few hours of sleep. All right. Here's a quote for you. Here's a quote that I started off with this week as an inspiration. And let me tell you, let me give you Megan and I do not talk about what we're going to talk about here. It's just like the musician, we don't call each other and say, hey, I'm going to be talking about this, can you play something? Well, once in a great while that happens, but rarely do I talk to a musician. And Megan and I never talk about what we're going to talk about on Sunday. And yet, here's the quote that I started off my week with as I wrote in my journal. It's a quote from Tracey A. Malone, who was a survivor of narcissistic abuse and now is a coach in that realm. And she says this: sometimes fear won't go away. You'll have to do it afraid. Sometimes fear won't go away. You'll have to do it afraid. Like, you recognize that, right? You recognize that because you've probably done something being afraid, right? And what she's saying really here to me, as I learned about it this week in my journal as I sat, is really what she's talking about is sometimes we have to let fear ride along with us. We can't always go to enough therapy sessions and enough weekend retreats and enough classes to get rid of the fear and just let it all go. You know, we don't always get to that kumbaya moment with fear. Sometimes we just have to let it ride along with us. All right? That's what she's saying here, I believe. And that's just the way life is. And so if you need permission, consider it given. That you don't have to be fearless, meaning not having any fear. You just have to be willing to let fear sit in the back seat. To let fear sit in the back seat. To not let it drive you. That's what it's about. Otherwise, I'm not asking you to have to get rid of it all, but just that you have to put it in the back seat. So, that should be enough, right? For today. Well, let's back up a minute. I'll keep with the car metaphor. Let's back up a minute. Because what are you afraid of, really? I mean, what are you afraid of? So I was asking myself, what am I really afraid of? Because there are physical things that I am afraid of. There are things in the world that I'm afraid of. Let me tell you one of the top three-ish. Snakes. I'm afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of heights. And I'm afraid of cruise ships. And here's the thing, it's not important enough for me to let fear ride along with me while I do any of those things. Like, it's just not important. That kind of fear, I have Renee for snakes. She takes care of snakes. No problem. I will not be skydiving anytime soon, and you will never see me book a cruise. Because of fear. Now, those who love cruising, good for you. Plenty of people do. Not me. Just not me. I'm not taking a cruise. But those kind of fears aren't important enough for me to give it a try, like to let fear ride in the backseat. I'm just going to not do them. And there's probably some of those things for you as well, right? That's one kind of fear. The other kind of fear is the kind of fear that comes up in an instant, that panic fear. That panic fear that you really have no control over. It's really not a choice about it. It's that adrenaline that comes up in you immediately, whether you're either fright or flight, whether you're either running or freezing. You know that? Things like, being on the beach with the rogue wave coming in or tsunami. Like, oh yeah, that's enough to make you afraid, right? Any being in front of someone that's threatening to harm you? Yes, that's going to bring up that panic and fear. Being in a house fire, those kind of emergency things, of course those are going to bring up fear. Those are not the kind of situations that I'm talking about putting fear in the back seat and doing anything. What are you going to do? Run into the fire? Run into the wave? Run toward the danger? Well, some people do. It reminded me of the pictures. Just this last couple of weeks, the Boston Marathon was held. Remember when the bombing happened at the Boston Marathon? And there was this one picture I can remember, seared in my mind, of the helpers running toward when everyone else was running away. So sometimes there are people who run toward that danger, but not me. I'd be the one running the other way, getting out of the way and feeling that adrenaline in me. So those kinds of things. There's no really choice in that kind of fear. There's some other fears like public speaking. Many people fear public speaking. They're like, no, that's not going to happen. Or The dentist. How many people fear the dentist? You know who you are. Yeah. That's all right. Renee's that way. You know what? She takes an extra happy pill that morning. You know? Or you go to a dentist that gives you some happy gas. You know, put you under a little ways. There's ways to address that rather than have a mouthful of rotted teeth, right? And death, of course. Many of us fear death. Those kinds of things. But really what I'm talking about, and I think what this phrase talks about, is some other kinds of fears. Not the physical fears and not the fears that come out of panic, but some of the fears that Megan talked about. So I made a list of them because I think they're universal. So here we go. Here we go. These are the fears that sometimes take the front seat that maybe we need to learn to put in the back seat. The fear of, oh, I forgot my pointer. No. Should I get it? Yes. All right. I'll be right back, Renee. I love this pointer. Okay. I like this pointer. Where's Gloria Wright gave me this. All right, anybody have this one? Not good enough. The fear of not good enough. The fear of not being liked. You show up the way in your authentic self and you're not liked. The fear of being picked last, or maybe not picked at all. The fear of being judged harshly or made fun of. The fear of being called a fool. The fear of not being invited. The fear of being a failure. You know, these are all built on these things. They masquerade as these things: doubt, insecurity, and shame. This is what these things are built. This is the mask. This is the mask for fear right here: doubt, insecurity, and shame. And these are the things. These are the insidious things. These are the things inside of us that prevent us from living an authentic life, because we have these fears. And maybe someone will say, "No, I don't have those fears. I think it's universal." So I'm going to project that out there and say yes. Yes. And the way I know that is sometimes we decide to play it safe in our life, don't we? We just decide, well, I'm not going to rock the boat. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to retreat. Those kinds of things are telegraph these fears in us. Because we're afraid if we are going to be our real self, that someone's going to notice and someone's going to call us out, and then we're not going to feel good at all. These fears, these are the fears that I'm talking about. And you know what all these fears are? They're all fears about what other people are going to think of us. Or they're fears about what we believe about our own self. What we believe about our own self. Isn't that? Yeah, I think that's what it is. So here's the question. Could you be brave enough to be your true self? Could you be brave enough, because this is what takes bravery coming out of this. It takes bravery to come out of that. To believe that you are enough. To believe that it doesn't matter if other people like you or not. It doesn't matter if you're never picked. It doesn't matter if other people judge me or make fun of me or call me a fool or if I'm not invited or if they think I'm a failure. It doesn't matter. And that takes bravery, that takes courage to stand out like that for yourself. But what this does, if we're not willing to do that, we hide our authentic self. I mean, we have this life and we have the chance to be authentic about it. And we have one chance. This is it. I mean, not reincarnation. I'm saying this life that we're living, this is it. So what would stop me from being authentic? These things. So how do I get out of this? How do I stop these fears? Well, I think the first thing that I thought of this week is we need to stop calling fear bad. We think fear is bad. Fear is bad. Well, fear's not bad. Fear is a feeling. That's what fear is. Fear is a feeling. That's it. Fear is not good or bad. Fear is not right or wrong. Fear is a feeling. That's it. My friend Jackie Houts would say, and feelings are not facts. They're just feelings. And fear falls in that category. Fear is just a feeling. And what's the best thing that I can do with a feeling that's uncomfortable? Is to look at it and say, what is this about? What is this thing about? What is this thing about in me? What awareness can I bring to it and say, am I really feeling this? Am I really afraid of such and so not liking me? Is that what I really want to be? What's that fear about? See, once we know and we can identify that fear, we can get over it being good or bad and just say, yes, I have this fear, and name it. Then comes the courageous part of being willing to put it in the back seat. Of being willing to put that in the back seat. Ripping the map from its hands, making it go in the back seat. Done taking directions from fear. Go left up here. No, stop at the light. No, you're going the wrong way. Make a U-turn. No. Not listening to fear. Not letting fear be in the driver's seat. Letting it be in the back, and that takes courage. Because it's still there. It's still there. You just deciding, because you can, because it's a feeling, to put it behind you. To put yourself in charge. And what that requires is that you trust yourself. That requires that you believe in yourself. That you love yourself first, in front of this. In front of this. It doesn't matter, this doesn't matter anymore as much as living an authentic life. Authentic in the way you live authentic. Not the person next to you, because you know comparison is the greatest killer of joy. So it's not compared to anybody else. No. It's your life to live authentically. It's yours. You have to believe in yourself. I have a quote here from a TikTok-ish kind of person. His name is Esso Tolson. He's the cool urban hippie. Anybody know of it? That person? He says this. You be okay with your success not looking successful to other people. I say be okay living your life regardless of what anybody thinks about it. It doesn't matter. Andy Warhol, my favorite quote from Andy Warhol says, so what? So what it looks like this? So what? It doesn't matter. All these things are tying together. Why compare myself to that? Be okay with your success looking different. Why not? We only do that when we're afraid. When we're afraid, when we doubt ourselves, when we feel insecure, when we're afraid about, well, if I do that, then what's going to happen? Somebody might cancel me. Somebody might not like me anymore. Well, you know what? That person needs to walk. Amen. Or we need to consider allowing that person to walk. And that's hard. It's hard putting yourself first sometimes. That's exactly, if I want to live and you want to live an authentic life, that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. Being authentic has to be the most important thing. Not being liked, not being good enough as far as somebody else is concerned, not being, What does authentic mean? Authentic means not false or copied. Comparison. Not false or copied. Genuine, real, one's true nature. That. And whatever is true for you is not true for the next person or the next person because they got their own thing. And you have your thing. Yes. Being you. That's what's fearless. Fearless is not without fear. Fear is feeling the fear and putting it in the back seat because my authentic life is more important than anything else. That's fearless. Not without fear, with fear. With fear. That's what it is. And I think this is what happens. I decided with my metaphor of the car, I decided when you do that with fear enough, when you put it in the back seat enough, it gets tired of riding back there. It gets tired of not being heard. It gets tired of not being in charge. And pretty soon, it gets out. It gets out of the car. And you'll know when that fear got out of the car, because you will feel a sense of freedom that you haven't felt before while it was there. That's what I think happens. And then you know what happens? Another fear gets in. And it goes over and over. But you feel that freedom. You're like, oh my gosh, that fear is gone. Finally, it doesn't really matter. I was picked last and I didn't care. I got to play the game. And I was good at it. Well, I wasn't the best, but I was good. And that's the feeling of freedom. That's the prize. That's the prize of releasing fear. That's the prize of it. So I want you to know, if you came here thinking, Julie said, where's Julie? Where are you? Oh, Julianne. Julie came in and said, I didn't want to come. I wanted to stay with my cats, but I knew there was a message for me. Well, here it is. If you felt that way coming in, that you came for a message, here it is. You are enough. Today. You are important. You matter. You are valuable and worthy. All that. Today. Not someday, not when, today. Right now. I am enough. I am important. I matter. I am worthy. Can you say that with me? Now, I don't want you to just say it, sorry. Because remember I said about feelings? I want you to feel it. I'll say it, then you say it. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am important.
I am important.
I matter.
I matter.
I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Now I'm wondering, who's confident enough to stand up and say that? I want you to turn and look to the person next to you. Yeah, you're not getting away with just looking at me. All right. Lori, do you have somebody? Can you be quiet for a minute? Hold up. No, you're not going to chit-chat. This is not a chit-chatty thing. I'm saying, do you feel brave right now, or do you feel like it's pretty easy?
I feel brave.
Pretty easy?
Brave.
Who said it's pretty easy? Come on up here. Everybody who said it's pretty easy, come on up here. Up on the stage. Up on the stage.
On the stage?
Up on the stage.
Okay.
Up on the stage. Up on the stage.
I am worthy.
Up on the stage. All right. Let's feel what it feels like. We're going to go around. Go ahead, Jordy.
I'm worthy.
I am worthy.
I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Yeah.
All right.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy. I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy.
I feel worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I'm worthy. I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
I'm worthy. I am worthy. I'm doubtful. I am worthy.
I am worthy. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful and worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy and I am enough.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I'm valuable and worthy. I am worthy too. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy. I am enough.
I am worthy.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. I have to say, I didn't expect that many people to stand. I am proud of you. I am proud of you. I want you to feel that this week. I don't want you to stop here. I don't want you to stop here. I want you to remember when these things come to mind. I want you to remember when these things come to mind. Because you have the option of noticing your fear, of not judging it as good or bad, and then deciding what's this about for me, and then choosing to trust yourself and put fear in the back seat. That's it. And then go from there. Drive on from there. That's it. Don't wait until you get rid of all the fear. It may not happen. Because like Tracey Malone said, sometimes fear won't go away, so you'll have to do it afraid. And that's a great consolation to me. A great reminder of that consolation. That it's not about getting rid of everything that I'm afraid of, except snakes.
I agree. I like snakes.
I don't like snakes. Renee doesn't like spiders, so we get a good trade-off. I can do spiders, she can do snakes. I think snakes are inordinately scarier than spiders to me. But anyway, yeah, we can put it in the back seat. Yeah. So let's have a little meditation time together this morning. So take a deep breath in. I'm asking you to remember this moment. I want you to remember the time you stood up at Spiritual Soul Center and said, I am worthy. I hope you felt the worthiness beyond the words. I want you to remember this. Maybe it's a turning point to remember, hey, I actually got on stage at Spiritual Soul Center and said, I am worthy in front of everybody. Or I stood up and looked at Paula and I said, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am enough. I matter. What I have to say is important. Who I am is important. Me. Today. I am enough. I am worthy. So let's sit just for a few moments together, breathing in and breathing out. So there's a blank I want you to fill in as you repeat that I am worthy. And that is what? Worthy of what? Maybe I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. I'm worthy of peace. I'm worthy of understanding. I'm worthy of all good things. I'm worthy of living my life, my authentic life. I am enough because I'm here. Because the divine created me. Gave me life and is giving me life. I am enough because I'm here. Because along with all the stars and the planets and the universe, me, you are that important, worthy, enough. Amen. May I be filled with loving kindness.
May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy.
Amen. Thank you all.